behind the scenes with future country rock blues kings and queens. Discover them first with Palm Mash TV. Palm Mash TV.
Well, hello there. It's Palm Mash TV time again. Thank you so much for joining us. We've got another great interview coming up for you in just a moment. But before we get into that, don't forget about that subscribe button and the bell below you there. And anytime a new episode comes your way, obviously you'll be notified. And leave a comment on the comments section. We'd love to hear from you there. And if you're on Facebook, follow us there at facebook.com/PalmMashTV. And you can comment on everything you see and send us an inbox as well. And send us an email at palmmashtv, all one word, @gmail.com. And if you're a band or a solo artist and want to be on the show, we'll tell you how to do that. And also, we love fan mail as well, so send us a fan letter at that same email address and we'll get back to you. And all this is going to be recapped for you in the closing credits at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. From Scotland, we have Dina Andrews with us today. Very talented artist, and I think you're going to agree, and we're going to get to that interview in just a second as it starts right now. Okay, here we are with the interview, and with us from Callander, Scotland, we have Dina Lynn with us today. Thanks for joining us, Dina.
That's okay. Happy to be here.
Yeah, and we're glad to have you here today. You know, that's interesting because I don't think I've ever interviewed anybody in Scotland before, so
All right.
it's kind of a first time for me, I think. But well, how did music find you, or how did you find music? I mean, everybody has their own story about how they decided to become serious as an artist. Tell us in your own words.
I started playing recorder when I was 7 at school, and then somebody introduced me to the violin. And so I played the violin till I was about 10, but I didn't really like it. I didn't really enjoy classical music very much. I preferred folky type stuff and things like that. So my parents traded in my violin for a guitar, and I've been playing guitar since I was 10. And then when I went to high school, one of the science teachers there used to do evening classes for guitar. So I used to go to see him after school, and he introduced me to Gordon Lightfoot, who's one of my heroes, you know. So, and then about 12 years, no, it must be 14 years ago now, I started writing my own stuff seriously and getting things recorded. So my first album, Complicated, was started recording that in 2016. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and you mentioned Gordon Lightfoot. Yeah, he's definitely a legend. I like all of his stuff. And was there any other people like that you looked up to when you were younger besides?
Yeah, Chris Christopherson, Emmylou Harris, all really great songwriters, you know. So, yeah. Yeah,
those are pretty good ones too, especially Chris Christopherson. He was a good actor as well as a musician too. So.
Sure. Yeah, and I mean, there's lots of I do like other music. I mean, people like Krista Berg is a brilliant songwriter, James Blunt, their songs are just so emotional and they really get to you, you know. So, and even like Ed Sheeran, his songs are really good as well, you know. So I appreciate other good songwriters, you know, so.
Yeah, and that's another good legend right there, Ed Sheeran. Yeah, I loved a couple of his songs. They were pretty good. Well, if anybody wants to go down there and download your music, how will they do it? Is it on any streaming platforms? I'm
on Spotify, but I'm on those platforms. My musician name is Dina Andrews, not Dina Lynn. So if you go to Spotify and look for Dina Andrews, you can type in Complicated, which is my first album, and then my current album is called The Naked Truth, and that's on Spotify with Dina Andrews as well. I've also got a YouTube channel, and that you'll find that with Dina Andrews as well. And then obviously I have a musician page, the Pink Cowgirl musician page, which is www.thepinkjerseycowgirl.com. That's how you can find my musician page. And there is actually a section on there that tells you who all my influences are. And I've done a little paragraph about all of them. So, you know.
Okay, well, where are you on social media? I mean, you know, like, are you on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, so forth? Maybe you could talk.
Yeah, I'm on all of those as well. So I don't do TikTok. I don't like that platform very much. So, you know,
Yeah, a lot of people don't.
When I went on it, I just started getting tons and tons of spam and stuff. So I just, took it off again. So.
Okay, for all you social
Mhm.
media fans, go on all those places you mentioned and do that, and also
Mhm.
on streaming media sites. She mentioned as well, and download her music. I know she would love you for that.
Mhm.
I guess the song we're getting ready to play for you in a minute is going to be called "Did You Find Jesus in Nashville?" I think that's a question that we've all asked ourselves. I think at one point.
Uh-huh. It's a really interesting story, actually. I was because I the first album that I completed, Complicated, took 2 visits to Nashville to do. So I was on the way to the recording studio to record the last 3 songs of the album. And I was waiting for it. I'd just been to see a friend of mine playing Legends, and I was waiting for the cab with my guitar in hand, and I felt somebody grab my shoulder. And when I turned around, there was a homeless man there, and he asked me if I knew where the church was that was feeding the homeless. And of course, I'm on my way to the studio. My cogs are going in my head, and I think that night I actually sat and wrote the song "Did You Find Jesus in Nashville?" So that was the story, and it's basically dedicated to homelessness. And on my last trip to Nashville, which was only back in August, I was shocked to see how many homeless people were actually on the streets of Broadway in Nashville. Absolutely shocking. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can understand that. Yeah, it is a great song, and I know everyone's just dying to get into it. We'll get into it in a second. But Dina, thanks so much for being on the show. We'd love to have you back sometime if you want to come.
You're very welcome. Yes, and you can probably see my awards. Can you see my awards behind me?
Well, all I can see is the top shelf. I don't see the.
Oh, right. Okay. That's the International Female Songwriter I wrote it. I won. And the other one is for the album, The Naked Truth. I won silver at the ISSA Awards in Atlanta. That's why I was in the USA about a month or so ago. So, yeah. So thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you. And take care.
Okay, and here's the song right now, and it starts in a second here.
Did you wander down the highway amongst darkness and despair, thinking there was no one to hold a lamp for you there? You looked in that whiskey bottle, did it make you so blind? When you reach rock bottom, it's really hard to find. Amongst the music and the honky-tonks, did you roll to the bottom of the hill? Or did you find the sunshine and find Jesus in Nashville? Did you find some kindness and laughter on your way? Or were you spurned by others almost every day? Did you pick up the old Bible that lay dusty on the shelf? Or make something of what was missing from yourself? Amongst the music and the honky-tonks, did you roll to the bottom of the hill? Or did you find the sunshine and find Jesus in Nashville?
pick you up when you're down? Did you go to the church where the cowboys go? Or Baptist or Nazarene, there are many more, you know. Amongst the music and the honky-tonks, did you roll to the bottom of the hill? Or did you find the sunshine and find Jesus in Nashville? Amongst the music and the honky-tonks, did you roll to the bottom of the hill? Or did you find the sunshine and find Jesus in Nashville?